Resellers can sometimes have a bad reputation. The word reseller can sometimes have some hullabaloo around it, and there are good reasons behind that because some types of resellers are bad and the opinion of the general public can be negative. So for example, concert ticket scalpers, not good. The people who were stocking up on toilet paper during COVID, not good. There are examples of resale that is just not, in my opinion, very moral. Lego investing is a form of resale. Of course, we are resellers. So what is my opinion on Lego investing when it comes to whether it is immoral or not? What is my opinion on the whole world of Lego investing? Now, I'm going to open this up in this video, and I know that this one's going to have some different opinions, and we'll have that discussion in the comments if we can keep it clean. But there are definitely different opinions on whether Lego resellers are good or bad. Is Lego investing an activity that some people will look down on, and all of that stuff? Now, recently, my wife sent me this video that was actually from another YouTuber called 60-Second Lego, and they made a video. It's quite short, but they answer this question about Lego investing. Is it good or bad? Now, I haven't watched this video yet, and I'm going to react to it right here. So I'm just going to watch what they have to say about Lego investing. Is it good? Is it bad? Are Lego investors the worst? And I will share my thoughts on it. And I don't really know what to expect here because although I am a Lego investor and I make content about Lego investing, I'm also a massive Lego fan. And I know that not all Lego fan channels love the Lego investing and the resale and secondary market side of the Lego community, and so I don't know where they fall. So with that, let's just jump in and you'll get my raw reaction to whatever it is they have to say.
A lot of people hate Lego investors with a passion, but I really don't think it's that bad. I recently made a short that was somewhat related to Lego investing and I got a lot of comments on it. And this is what I said in the video that got everyone so mad. Damaged Lego sets. Not one, but two Lego upsets have dents here, which can actually really affect the resale value. So here's the first comment.
Hate scabbers and the hyperinflated brick market.
So it sounds like you're basically saying resellers cause Lego sets to increase in price, which isn't really true. Let's start off with the retired sets. If Lego investors cease to exist, the prices of retired sets would be way more expensive and the buying experience would be way worse since there would be a much lower supply of sealed sets. As for new sets coming out and ones currently on shelves, those may have increased in price over the years because of general inflation in the economy. Lego is also expensive because they use very high quality plastic, and I'm guessing that changes in manufacturing and materials have affected the prices over the years. Don't forget about licensing, which is also incredibly expensive and something Lego is actively doing. I could go on and on, but basically Lego isn't a charity. But even after I explained that, this commenter still had to say,
there would be a higher amount of people that would have the set originally then, and not having to go to resellers. Your reasoning doesn't work.
Okay, so Lego doesn't just stop releasing a certain set after 2 years because they simply ran out of supply, right? They have 2 to 3 years of shelf life before being discontinued because Lego regularly releases new sets to keep them fresh and exciting for customers. Retiring them creates space for new ones, which encourages customers to buy again. The reality is that it would be very hard to create an artificial shortage of Lego sets from their limited production because they just aren't subject to these artificial scarcity tactics. This Redditor said it well.
Other than a few specific limited items, it's impossible to effectively manufacture scarcity of Lego sets as none of them are volume limited. Scarcity happens automatically through sets retiring. I am 100% in favor of other people working to increase post-retirement supply of sets. Like most other middle-aged adults with the long Lego Dark Age, there are a lot of retired sets I would like to have. The main effect of these investors is to suppress the price of retired sets, making them more accessible to others who return or came late to the hobby.
Or you could just say,
putting it simply, if there were no people buying a set as an investment, then when that set retires, there will be less total units of that set in the market, making it harder to find and more expensive.
This is basically what I said earlier, but I think it's a
Okay, I'm going to pause it here and just give a couple of quick comments. So we're halfway through this video already. It's just a 4-minute quick video. But yeah, I mean, okay, so it looks like this is obviously a positive approach to Lego investing, and this creator is definitely not against it and argues that this is actually a great thing for Lego fans, because when you have Lego investors, when you have people buying up stock, then the fans are able to access those sets in the future at reasonable prices. I 100% agree with that, and I definitely agree with the point that if there were no Lego investors out there, then Lego prices would skyrocket a whole lot more. In fact, if there were none of us, there would be no supply available in the aftermarket. So then you would have zero ability for Lego fans to be able to go and collect the sets that they want to get. And so if you are a Star Wars collector and you love the Star Wars helmet series and you start to collect them and you're getting Darth Vader and you're getting the Princess Leia and the Luke Skywalker, and you realize you missed out on the Stormtrooper and the TIE Fighter pilot and the Boba Fett a couple of years ago and they're not manufactured anymore, you would not be able to finish your collection as a fan. And so, because if there was no LEGO investors out there would be zero supply available for you on eBay, Bricklink, or Amazon, and you just would be out of luck. You would not be able to continue your collection. And I honestly think that a lot of LEGO fans would be pretty disappointed about that. I think that the availability of sets in the aftermarket, even at inflated prices, is good for LEGO fans, and they like that cushion of knowing that they can get those older sets if they ever want to. Yes, some may grumble about the price increase, and some may be upset about having to pay 2 or 3x the MSRP 3 years after retirement to get that set. Of course they will, but the simple fact that it's available to them is, in my opinion, a very positive thing for them as a collector and as a fan of LEGO. And added to that as well is some people who are against LEGO investing will likely say that LEGO investors should not up the price. You're scalping, you are increasing the price, you shouldn't be selling LEGO sets for 3x the MSRP. But here's the thing, LEGO investors are storing the set for multiple years in many cases. Storage, real estate costs money, so if someone's going to use up a spare room in their bedroom that they could be renting out on Airbnb if they really wanted to, but they're going to use that up to store LEGO sets for 2 years, and then they're going to sell it to fans who are trying to complete their collection. Do you not believe that they should be able to mark up the price and make a bit of a profit for going through that work of ordering the sets, intake, and then storing for a couple of years, using up storage space and real estate in their homes or in a warehouse or in a storage unit that costs money? At the end of the day, there's a value that's being added by LEGO investors because the value is that storage. And here's the other thing that a lot of people miss is that the reason the LEGO group even retires sets is because storage space and real estate is so expensive. They cannot continue to manufacture new products because the big retailers that they work with only have so much shelf space available to them. That is, again, because of real estate, right? There's only so much shelf real estate that's available, and LEGO group want that shelf space to be used by new products so they can sell new products to the same people. For that reason, they retire the old stuff and they bring out the new stuff, but the old stuff eventually has to go away because of real estate, because there's nowhere to store them. Warehouse space is limited and shelf space is limited, so they release new products and the old stuff goes away. But then LEGO investors are willing to use their real estate to continue to store those older products so that they can be available in the aftermarket. And that is the value that a LEGO investor is bringing to the table. They are essentially a second retailer that is going to exclusively work in those older retired products, just like the Walmarts, Amazons, or Targets are going to continue to work in the currently available products. And because the LEGO investor needs to buy the set at currently available prices, and then they also need to make their margin, then it is natural that the prices will have to go up in the aftermarket in order to pay for the service that they are bringing to the table, which is storing those sets for a couple of years. So I think that they are on the money with their approach here, and I've always fully believed that LEGO investors are honestly bringing a ton of value to the table here, to the LEGO community when it comes to storing old retired products and making sure we have a vibrant aftermarket for LEGO sets. Now let's jump back in here.
It's a great point because as someone who hasn't been a LEGO fan my whole entire life, I love that there's a secondary market for discontinued LEGO sets because it gives me a chance to get old LEGO sets that I really want. Now I'm going to dive into the bad side of LEGO investing because even though I believe that the good outweighs the bad here, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. So for this example, let's look at the VIP NASA probe. This is an exclusive set that could be purchased with VIP points, and to those who bought multiple of these to resell, it's kind of a move. Like, I will admit that is definitely a con here. Simply because this is just a limited item, and there actually are a few of these limited and exclusive sets are probably the one time you can actually make an artificial shortage of these sets. But at the end of the day, I do believe the pros outweigh the cons for LEGO investing culture. There are a lot of reasons to defend LEGO investors, but the main takeaway is that if a set isn't explicitly being marketed as a limited or exclusive set, then the decision to do another production run will heavily be based on sales. If a set is doing really well, they're not just going to think, well, that's that, let's do the next one. They're probably going to extend its shelf life and make more. I might not change your mind, and that's totally fine, but I just wanted to give you some perspective on it. And it might be hard for some of you guys to believe, but LEGO investing isn't even just for the money, it's also fun to do as well. It's kind of like a little game sometimes. But sometimes I'll even buy a LEGO set to keep it sealed, and I won't even know if I'm ever going to resell it or not, just because I like the box art so much. And some people get really mad at that because they think it's not supposed to stay in the box, and that's not how it's supposed to be used. But if I'm still having fun with it, does it really matter? I mean, it's my set, and plus I only have around 20 sets in my investment collection right now. None of which are exclusive sets. Most of the sets are completely different, so it's not even like I'm buying a bunch of one set. But yeah, this is my honest opinion on it.
Okay, so again, I really agree with some of the things that he's saying here, and I actually like that he did mention the downsides, because I agree, there are some bad sides to LEGO investing, such as snatching up every single VIP set that you could possibly get your hands on at the detriment to the community not being able to get it. I understand that there are some areas of that I agree with. Now, I personally choose to not judge other LEGO investors and resellers for doing stuff like that, and whatever your opinion on that is, that's totally fine. But largely, I think the pros far outweigh the cons, just like he mentioned in the video here. I think that the service that LEGO investors are bringing to the community is absolutely worthwhile, and if it didn't exist, people would really miss the ability to continue to buy sets in retirement. And I think that there needs to be some wiggle room for LEGO investors to be able to do this profitably, because otherwise they would not do it. There's just no way that LEGO investors would ever continue to run this business if they couldn't do it in a way that worked for them with their lifestyle and gave them the profits that they needed. Because at the end of the day, they are running a business, and it is a service and a valid part of the supply chain of LEGO sets, from manufacturing to the end user who's going to build those sets. Now, for me personally, I choose to approach it as a LEGO investor, which means I store the stuff for some time before I sell it. I don't really enter the flip game a whole lot, where a brand new set comes out and I buy up as many as I can and try to flip them day one. That's just not what I do. But once again, I don't judge people who do that stuff. I just personally think that it makes more sense for me to focus on investing. I also think that the storage of the inventory is one of the biggest value adds that LEGO investors bring to the table. So I want to be actually storing my inventory for some time, because then not only is the price going up over time and it's a more certain or more sure thing, also I'm contributing in a way with my real estate, with the storage of the sets, to the LEGO community. Now, his point about people like pointing fingers at those who don't open the box and don't open sets, that's not even a LEGO investing discussion. That's more about LEGO collecting and collectors who like to keep their sets sealed. Honestly, I just really dislike that, because nobody should try to tell anyone else what they can do with their stuff. So if a LEGO fan sees someone who has a sealed set collection and they say, you know, that's not what LEGO sets are for, they're supposed to be opened and played with, honestly, it's none of your business. It's really not anything to do with you. LEGO collectors, Funko Pop collectors, coin collectors, Pokemon card collectors who don't actually play the game, you know, collectors can choose to just keep things in sealed condition because that brings them joy, and that's nothing to do with anybody else. So honestly, once again, I agree with his point here, which is it's really none of anybody else's business if you are a collector who wants to keep your stuff inside of the box. So overall, I agree with his points here in this video, and I think that LEGO investors are bringing a lot to the table. Now, aside from the stuff that I mentioned about the real estate and the storage of the stuff for a couple of years that they're bringing to the table, there's also the work to go out and source the inventory and then put it available on something like Amazon.com, because those who shop on Amazon, they're looking for convenience, and sometimes if you live in a small town somewhere with no access to a LEGO store, you can't even access LEGO sets, and so you're going to Amazon, you're going to other places like eBay, and the supply that's available on eBay comes from LEGO resellers and investors. So once again, the customer has this convenience that they can actually access the stuff that they're looking for because of this secondary market that exists. And yes, prices will be a little bit inflated because of the storage, because of the work that the person had to go to source that inventory, and the convenience that is being offered to the buyer. But if the seller is willing to part with that inventory for a set amount of money, and a buyer is willing to pay that amount of money, then there's no harm done, because the buyer is receiving the thing that they want, and they have the convenience of being able to get their hands on that thing that may not even be available anymore for the last couple of years, and then the seller is able to make a profit and continue to run a business so that they can do this into the future. So overall, I absolutely do not think that there should be any hullabaloo about LEGO investing. I don't think it is something that anybody should turn their nose up or be ashamed of or anything like that. I think there's definitely some real value being brought to the supply chain of LEGO sets because of the LEGO investing market. I see LEGO investors as a second retailer, no different to Amazon, Target, or Walmart, but we just deal in the secondary market of sets that are no longer available anymore. And when it comes to flipping currently available sets and hoarding kind of VIP sets and different things like that some people would see as immoral, I don't really pass any judgment on that, but I understand both sides of the conversation on that. But overall, I think that LEGO investing and the LEGO secondary market has a very important place inside of the LEGO fandom fandom and Lego hobby. And I myself am proud to be a Lego investor. But what are your thoughts? I know this may be a controversial one with different opinions on each side, but let us know in the comments down below, what do you think about Lego investing? Let's get that discussion going in the comments down below. And if you haven't already joined our free Facebook group about Lego investing, you definitely don't want to miss that. I'm going to leave a link in the description down below. So grab that link and jump into our completely free Facebook group, and I will see you inside. So with that, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one.